Well, hi there, everybody, and good Wednesday morning to meteorologist Travis Klineski. Nice and quiet this morning. A warm front to our east, a cold front to our northwest. We're in the warm sector, so it's a pretty decent start to our morning. A few passing clouds early this morning and throughout the day today. I'm going to call it a partly to mostly sunny day. And ahead of that cold front, we're going to be looking at some nice warm conditions. Winds will be a little bit breezy. That's going to be a bit of the problem today. But again, I think we can be okay with that when we get temperatures like what we're going to get later on today. And again, you'll look at those arrows. That indicates that wind speed. Notice they are faster as you go to eastern Nebraska and much slower out towards the west. So the winds won't be as strong out west. Central Nebraska, pretty breezy, even a little windy out towards Lincoln and Beatrice. Getting into this evening, then we'll see that frontal boundary advance slowly southeastward, and that brings an end to the mild air across the northwest. Now, the other thing I'll notice here, I'm going to back this up, but another thing you'll notice here, isolated thunderstorms not out of the question just behind that front up in the sandhills of Nebraska. So can't completely rule out an isolated severe storm. Then later in the night, it's going to get cold enough, maybe a little drizzle or even freezing drizzle, not out of the question for them. We have a small chance of rain here in central Nebraska, mainly after midnight. I don't think we'll see much. As we get into tomorrow, that cold front's basically on our doorstep. We may initially warm up just a little bit early in the morning before that front comes through, but once the front comes through, colder air is going to start to move in. So southeast Nebraska, you're going to see some milder temperatures again tomorrow, but the rest of us, colder air moving in. We'll play this out through noon here. You'll also notice a little light rain or drizzle is not out of the question tomorrow morning and really throughout the day tomorrow, but we're not going to see a lot of moisture out there. This will be very light rain or drizzle throughout the day. Once that front comes through, north winds will kick in and drive in that colder air, so temperatures start to fall off. So again, southeast Nebraska, you're going to enjoy some warmer air before that colder air gets here. But again, we'll back that up just to give you a good idea of where that frontal boundary will be at. Again, through the Tri-Cities probably by the end of the morning. So Kearney might be warmer than Grand Island, and Grand Island just a little warmer than, or excuse me, Hastings a little warmer than Grand Island a little bit warmer than Kearney as we go into your highs for tomorrow. But eventually we'll all start to cool down. And again, just a little bit of moisture behind that front. But chances do pick up a little bit more towards tomorrow night. Again, rain or drizzle to the northwest, and more of a wintry mix of very light moisture. Again, we're not going to see heavy moisture with this system here. But again, we'll start to see that rain transition over to mixed precipitation through the evening and overnight hours. So rain will eventually transition over to light freezing rain or sleet, maybe more or less just drizzle and freezing, changing to freezing drizzle. But with warm ground temperatures, initially a lot of this will be melting as it hits the surface, but the first surfaces to get cold enough might be bridges and overpasses, so watch for some slick conditions in those spots, especially through the late night hours. Meanwhile, a little more snow to our west and north as it gets cold enough, and eventually a little more rain or snow mixing in as we get later into the night before that all exits out of here early on Friday. Maybe some lingering precipitation in the east early in the day, but otherwise we're left with just kind of a cold, breezy day for your day on Friday. So first off, before we get to the winter side of things, I mentioned that severe weather threat for later today and this evening behind that front. One of the smallest marginal risk areas I've probably ever seen here since I've been since I started issuing out marginal risks out there to the west. This includes the very fringes of the local 4 viewing area. Not a great chance of severe weather, but can't completely rule something out there in the Sandhills down to the Ogallala, North Platte areas. Some large hail up to quarter size, maybe some gusty winds that might approach 60 miles per hour. I don't think we'll see a lot of severe weather, but it can't be completely ruled out, and I think the wind gusts are probably the bigger of the two threats out there. So don't look for a big time severe weather threat or anything like that. Then on the winter weather side of things here, I don't expect a lot of snow out of the system. We could see maybe up to a couple of inches of snow up across the northern portions of the viewing area. I would say 1 to 3 inches, maybe up to 4, but mostly 1 to 3 inches. For the Tri-Cities, up to an inch. I don't think we'll see much more than that. And then to the south and east from there, probably not seeing any snowfall at this point. Now, temperatures today, before the cold gets here, it looks wonderful. Low and mid 70s for highs for today. You can see the slightly cooler air to our northwest behind the cold front. That cooler air is going to start to dive southeastward overnight. Now, mild ahead of the front in the 40s and 50s. Behind it, 30s and 20s, even teens in northwest Nebraska. So you can tell there's a lot of colder air behind that cold front. Early April, it's not often we get down into the teens for lows. It does happen, but not as often. So, yeah, up there to the northwest. Burr, a little chilly to start things off tomorrow morning. And again, we're going to play out the future temps product here for tomorrow, as I want to show you how southeast Nebraska is going to warm things up initially. And even in the Tri-Cities, now Hastings, if the front takes its time getting through, it might get to 60. But once that front comes through, it's going to get cooler. And again, it's all about the timing of the front. I'll back it up again. the way it looks right now, Hastings will get warmer than Grand Island. Grand Island will get warmer than Kearney, but eventually everybody will get colder once the afternoon comes in here and that cooler air works its way in. So by the end of the day, much chillier conditions out there where we'll see a lot of places down into the 30s. Still mild ahead of that front by the afternoon in southeast Nebraska, but eventually it is going to get colder. So your actual highs, this is what I'm going to go with, but again, it's all about the timing of that front for tomorrow. It makes it very difficult to predict, especially for the Tri-Cities area. We could end up being a little warmer in Hastings, but it all depends on when that front comes through here. As for tomorrow night, we're all colder. Teens and 20s for overnight lows. Jumping into your day on Friday, well, we're going to be looking at temperatures in the 30s north and then low to mid 40s for the rest of us, so not an overly warm day for your Friday, especially when you factor in that there will be a bit of a breezy northerly wind. As for the rest of your 7-day forecast, again, we go from the 70s today down to the 50s tomorrow, and the end of the day it won't even be in the 50s. Again, very light rain late tonight and tomorrow. We're not going to see a lot of rain, maybe more drizzly than anything. But then as we get towards Thursday evening, a little better chance, and then the best chance comes after midnight as we see that rain transition over to snow with a period of possible freezing drizzle or sleet, but eventually some snow before sunrise on Friday. After that, the precipitation clears out, breezy north winds, temperatures only climbing to the lower 40s. Another cold night again Friday night as we get back down into the 20s. Saturday, partly cloudy skies, highs trying to get back close to 50 degrees. Sunday looks better as we'll inch back to the lower and mid 60s. It will be a bit breezy out there. Small chance of rain in the afternoon, a little better chance of rain and isolated thunderstorms as we get to the overnight hours of Sunday night and early Monday morning. And then as we get towards Monday and Tuesday, back to drier weather and warmer weather returning for a couple of days. We'll be back to the 70s. It does look like beyond Tuesday we're going to cool things back down again behind another cold front that's going to pass through Tuesday night into Wednesday. But you know what? The cool downs don't last terribly long around these parts. And the good news is the cool downs aren't overly cold. They're cooler, but you know what? At this time of the year, not quite so bad. And we have 3 really nice days in there mixing in today with Monday and Tuesday of next week. So there you go. There is your forecast for today. Until next time, I'm meteorologist Travis Klineski. Hope you all have an enjoyable Wednesday. We'll see you all again tomorrow morning as that cold front starts to make its way into the area. Bye.